Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in. Today we are working in the garden, and specifically we're going to be working on the fence. So we've been working on this garden in the background a little bit for a couple of weeks now, just a little here, a little there. And the last step besides finishing planting is putting the fence up. And we want to get the fence up before we finish planting, that way the deer, rabbits, and all that stuff can't get to it. So we have our T-posts out. We have them about every 10 feet, except for the two right here. These are at 4 feet, and that's going to be our gate. So we have this vinyl welded wire fence that we're just going to cable tie that Jess has over there to the T-post. And we're probably going to do about 3 or 4 of them per post, and we'll see how it goes. Thinking we may need additional T-posts in between these ones. Originally we were going to go with metal welded wire, but for some reason we had a hard time getting that this year, so we could only get the PVC. And it's a little bit more flimsy than the metal, so we'll see how 10 foot goes. If it doesn't work out, we do have some more T-posts that we can salvage from elsewhere on our property, so we'll do that if we need to.
And just to mention again, the reason that we're doing, I don't want to say it, the reason we're not doing a permanent fence is because we do have plans in the future to probably make this garden bigger. This is kind of just our first take, our first year with this garden space. And we just need something kind of temporary to keep the deer and other things out. So that's why we made the decision to use T-posts that were on different spots in our property and then just get a cheaper option for fencing. So
yeah, so some specs on the garden. It's 30 foot by 30 foot. We have 6 beds that are 4 foot by 8 foot. And then we have back in the far corner over there, there's a corner garden that is 2 foot by 8 foot, and then on the other side it's also 2 foot by 8 foot. So essentially the same square footage as 4 foot by 8 foot for a garden bed. We'll see how it goes. Like Jess said, if we need more, then we'll expand this a little bit bigger, any which way direction. We do have more room inside the garden to expand our beds too and get some more bed square footage in there. But this is what we did for now, and I think it'll be plenty for this year. We were getting a little low on good dirt, so we need to work on getting some more compost and topsoil and things like that to expand our beds. And maybe it's something we get to this summer. If not, then maybe we'll work on that in the off season over the winter and have it ready for next season.
But I don't know if you can hear thunder in the background, so we are, you know, up against time here. So we're gonna get started on this, and let's go.
Yep.
So Adam's going to pull this all the way out to the end post so that we can kind of make this as taut as possible. That way we have, the taunter it is, the stiffer it's going to be. All right, so there's the first take at that. We're definitely going to have to go back, put more cable ties on, go back, do some minor adjustments. But I think for the night, it should be good enough to keep critters out. There's always room for adjustment. So, like I said, quick, easy solution to keeping critters out. That took maybe 10 minutes?
Yeah, maybe 10 minutes.
It was really quick.
Yeah. Pretty quick, easy way to do it. And we were kind of in a rush to do it now because we do have things planted in here and we don't want the critters to get to it over the night, and we're fighting the rain right now. So All right, so we're gonna give you guys a quick garden tour since we haven't done that and we're out here, not raining yet, so we still got a little bit of time. So let's head on in. This is gonna be the gate. It's 4 feet wide. We went 4 feet, that way we can get like a wheelbarrow in there or anything if we need to. So the gate will open up and we'll be able to walk in just like this. And now we're in the garden. So like I said earlier, we have 6 raised beds right here in the center. They're all 4 foot by 8 foot. We filled them with dirt that we had. That was a previous mixture that we did. So it's a little bit of compost, a little bit of topsoil, and a little bit of sand, a little bit of play sand. And that sand kind of helps the drainage of our red clay that we have here. So kind of helps break that up a little bit. This was all soil that we had in previous raised beds that we've moved around the property to our now 3rd garden location. And I think it'll do pretty good for us here. We have, as you can see here on top, we have these mounds in the center. That was just some store-bought cow manure, really good stuff to mix in just on the top and really boost the soil and get it going for this year. We try to do this as effective and resourceful as possible. So the edging here are actually cedar logs that were all down cedar logs on our property. Most of them are quarter logs, so I got trees that were about 12 to 14 inches in diameter and cut them lengthwise with a chainsaw both ways to give us a quarter log, kind of half a circle, almost a quarter of a circle, round it look into the garden beds. Came out pretty good. It gives us maybe about a 5 to 6 inch depth of good soil on top of the red clay that we have. So we have our walkways here and we have the mulch over it. We did put it directly over the grass, so I do expect the grass to come through and we'll have to weed as it does. That'll probably be a little bit challenging. Our initial plan was to put cardboard underneath of it, and that's what we did for all of our raised beds. The cardboard kind of acts as a natural weed barrier, doesn't let them grow up as easily as it would without it there. So the raised beds I think will be okay. The mulched area, that might be a little difficult for us to keep weeded, but we'll pull them as we see them. Okay, and then over in this corner over here.
And apparently our son is making an appearance.
Hi. So over here in this corner is where I said we have the corner garden, and it's 2 foot by 8 foot. And this is what we can extend. So we can extend it down to the left here and then also to the right along the whole side. And that'll give us a 30 foot by 2 foot and also a 30 foot by 2 foot garden on this side too. That will be, what were we thinking? Maybe some flowers over here. We don't want things that deer can get through the fence right on the edge of the fence, which is why we have all of our beds pushed towards the center and a path all the way around the outside, with the exception of these 2 sides, obviously. But we'll put some maybe flowers over there, something that deer can't really easily get. We'll bring them towards the front of the beds. Maybe some like carrots and garlic, things like that, that maybe grow in the ground and don't have a lot of leafing above the surface that could, you know, go up over the fence or anything like that.
I think another idea that we had is maybe put some additional garden beds on the outside of the fence, and then that way it would kind of push back anything kind of getting immediately in. Not that it would stop them, but it might deter them from trying.
Yep. Yeah, and as you can see, we have the mulch on the outside of the fence. Where we just installed the fence, you can see a little strip of grass. I don't know if you can see that on camera, but there's a little strip of grass right here where we just installed the fence. So we left that way we can push that mulch on the outside over the fence, and it'll make it a lot harder for like rabbits and things to get underneath the fence. And then that is kind of that buffer zone too, that maybe one day we can put a garden on the outside and give us even further of a buffer zone for the deer to get here. Deer are pretty skeptical if they see something that looks challenging for them to jump over. So something really wide, 2 short fences that are really wide can be even better than one like 8 foot tall fence, because deer can easily jump a 6 foot tall fence. They can easily jump this if they want to, but with it actually being loose like this, it will give them a harder depth perception, and they will most likely not jump it just because it is harder for them to gauge where they're going to land.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the deer say,
Yeah.
"Go away, deer."
No deer in the garden.
No deer.
No deer.
No deer.
So, where I was going to get with that is if we need to, we can put a shorter fence on the outside of the outside garden bed, and that'll give us that double fence for them to have a hard time jumping over.
And apparently everyone wants to contribute to this video.
Yeah.
So the only thing that we actually have planted in here right now are strawberry plants, which I just planted today. So they're looking a little bit sad, but I'm hoping that they perk back up. And then I also just planted some blackberry bushes, which we still have to construct the trellis for. So we'll be doing that coming up soon. And then we have to rake in all of this manure that's on the top of these few beds. We just didn't get to it today because I was just concerned with getting the strawberries planted and the blackberry plants planted. So anyway, that's a really short garden tour, and yeah, we'll keep you guys updated as we continue to plant things in here.
Thanks for joining in. Hope you liked it, and we'll see you soon.